Hi, I'm Dr. David Noble, and today we're going to discuss detox. So first of all, there's no shortage of detoxes out there, programs, potions, pills, things like that claim to do a detox work. So there's a lot of confusion out there, not only for the layperson, but even for me as a physician. There's always some new product or something coming out. So what we hope to do with this video or this video series today is try to dispel some of the myths of what detox means and how to do it. So we're going to cover four main questions. First off is, why do we do detox in the first place? So why? What is a detox, or what is a good detox? How do you detox? What does that mean? And fourthly, how often should I detox for good results? So let's take the first question. Why detox? Why do a detox? Well, the reality is that we live in a toxic soup. We're eating junk, we're breathing junk, we're drinking tainted water and sodas and whatever else. We're also wearing plastics in our clothing and chemicals and dyes. Ladies, you're putting makeup and hair colorings and different things on our body, lotions and whatnot. It's hard to get away from. So what do you do about it? So either you can move to Montana, buy a farmland and do that sort of thing, or you can maybe do some more practical things on a more regular basis to deal with the ecology that you're living in. So the second half of that is, why do a detox? What's your motivation? Why do you want to do it? Why are you watching this video right now? Is it to lose a few pounds, to lose a lot of weight? Is it to get healthy, feel good? What is that? Now, I believe that because we live in this toxic soup, we should desire to be healthy and do things like a detox done right to get cleaner. But in regards to weight loss, I know weight loss is a motivation for a lot of people. No judgment there, but realize that every good weight loss program should have detox. So I believe that detox is absolutely necessary for a good weight loss program that yields long-term results. However, detox is not the same thing as weight loss. So as long as you can keep that straight in your head, you'll have better expectations long-term, proper expectations. So that's why detox. And then secondly, what is a good detox? What is detox? Well, first of all, when you're doing a detox program, you want to know, are we getting deep enough? Does the process actually work? Are we doing it long enough so we actually get to a point? Are you able to do it often enough? And what does that look like? So I like the idea of weeding in the garden. When you pull the weeds out, you just pull the tops off, or are you getting to the deeper roots? Obviously, you want to get to the deeper roots of the deal. So I define detox as number one, removing the sources of damaging compounds, the toxins, the foods, whatever it is. So remove the source of damaging compounds. Two, doing that while cleaning and aiding your body's natural detox mechanisms. So there's that component of it. And then thirdly, over a long enough period of time that we actually affect the next generation of cells. Because the body is always turning over cells. Cells are dying and new ones are coming up in their place. So done right, done deep enough and for long enough, you can actually get quite an impact for your health as a whole. So in our office, we have something called the Ultimate Holistic Detox Program. And you notice the word holistic is in there. And that's because I believe that going deep means you have to go holistic. Holistic implying whole person detox. It's not just taking a bunch of pills and dealing with some of the physical toxicities. Because we have, as I consider it, four main dimensions of self, and we want to hit all four of those areas. So the first being, in fact, the flow of life and health and healing is from top down, inside out. It's an old adage in the chiropractic world, but above, down, inside out. And so I believe that we're first spirit, and you can have some spiritual toxicity, and your spirit life drives your beliefs and your thought pattern. And if you're thinking negatively or toxically, if that's a word, then you're producing feelings that are not so good. They're negative feelings, and that produces an energy field in and about your body that is not good. And then the physical body then gets the brunt of all that. And so, not to mention the stuff that's coming from the outside in, this is just the stuff from the inside out. So I believe a true holistic effective detox or cleansing comes from the inside out as well as it does from the outside in. All right, so why detox? What is a good detox? And thirdly, how do we detox? How do we become effective in our detox program? So before we get into the nuts and bolts of it, the 30,000 foot view of a good detox program, it should be considered like a cycle. There's a beginning, middle, and an end, a cycle. And it looks like this. We first assess. We got to find out, how toxic are you? How much need is there? How intense do we have to go with what kind of detox are we doing? Everyone's like their own fingerprint. Like some people need a lot of work, a lot of detox, regular or whatever. Then there's some people just once in a while, light end, and they're fine. So you got to know where you're at. So there is a toxicity questionnaire where you get a score, and that score helps us determine or dictate which kind of program or how often, all those kinds of things. And so that I'm sure we'll show like a website down here, and you can click on the website and download the toxicity questionnaire and find out where you fall. On the web page, there's also a little scoring tool, so you get a sense for how intense of a situation are you in. So for instance, if you're over, the score goes from like 0 to 100 something or whatever, but if you're over 61 or near 100, I strongly suggest not only doing the questionnaire, but doing a urine test that assesses phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification capabilities of your liver. So it's an organ assessment as well. So assess, number 1. Number 2 is plan. What's your roadmap? How are you getting from A to B? So we have also on our website a checklist you can download very easily. It just helps you walk through the different steps, plan accordingly, get your calendar out. And for instance, do you have any weddings coming up? Are you flying to Florida anytime soon? Big parties, things like that. They're going to really work against your whole program plan. So it's very important to look at those things. So assess, plan, and then execute. Execute means you want to follow through. You want to get it done, get from A to B. All the little steps and all the minutia that could go wrong or go good, and have some kind of accountability tool, which is also on that same checklist, that download I just mentioned a minute ago. So in the execute side, we have a 6-week program, which is the main program, and then there's actually a 2-week version, a mini detox, which I'll go over more in a minute, and which is right for you. It all depends on what your purpose is, what your goals are, the timing of all these things. There's a lot of variables that go into that, but you want to have a roadmap. So assess, plan, execute, and then reassess. So whatever your score is at the beginning, you should reassess and make sure you actually got something out of this process, especially if you're doing a 6-week program. So if you scored really high, don't expect to be perfect on the way out, but you should have some level of improvement. And depending on where your starting point was and how often you're going to be doing this, you want to probably take that toxicity score again in the future and just see where you're at and track your results. So for instance, if you're not at the exit of that program, you're just not scoring well much, or there wasn't much improvement, then the next question is, well, what else is going on? Is there chronic inflammation? Are there foods that you're responding to? Do you have some immune challenges and need some deeper work? Some of the things that we do in this office are really helping people with these chronic and aggressive challenges. Okay, so let's discuss the 6-week Ultimate Holistic Detox Program, and then we'll spend a couple minutes on the 2-week version. But the main components of the 6-week program, well, there's really four main components, and the first one is the intermittent fasting concept, and there's all kinds of different versions of this, and something I subscribe to and most patients do well with is the 18-6 version, which means you're fasting for 18 hours and you're feeding for 6. And just in a very general sense, what that means is you're eating from about lunchtime to dinner time, and the rest of the time you're fasting. Water, unsweetened teas, things like that. So and the reason we do that is it gives the body a nice little break, a rest from all the food proteins and whatever chemicals and poisons are in those foods. Just gives your system a break, gives your liver a break, your intestines a break. And not only that, but it helps you actually, believe it or not, balance blood sugar. It helps with increasing the fat burning component of your metabolism. And overall, who doesn't want that? and overall it just helps improve your metabolism. So a very powerful tool, and you might even want to consider doing that for long periods of time, way beyond the detox. So the second component then is a full water fast every Monday. And that's a little scary, I know, but the concept there is the same thing as intermittent fasting. It's just a longer extended break once a week as you're resetting your week and your cycle for the week. You do it every Monday for at least the first 4 weeks, but ideally all 6 weeks. And again, depending, I guess, on your need of detoxification. Third thing is cleansing and healing lifestyle activities and techniques. All right, so now I mentioned those 4 dimensions of self: spirit, mind, energy, body. Well, there's tools and tricks and all kinds of fun things we could do in all those areas. And there's a lot of them are listed actually on the website. If you go to the website, you can learn more about what that means, what that entails. There's downloadable handouts for most of those things. And it's anything from specific exercise patterns, philosophies, to help getting sleep, getting your sleep cycle and your rhythm in there, to forgiveness and gratitude, all these different things that handle the spirit, mind, energy, and physical body. So it's not just going from the outside in, it's really going from the inside out as well. The fourth thing of those is the water and the supplementation. I believe they work together very well. Number one, you got to get a lot of water in. If we're trying to wash stuff out, you got to get the water in there. At least 64 ounces of water, if not up towards 100 ounces of water. Do the best you can with that. For some people, that's a tall order, but it's necessary. And the second half of that is the supplementation. So the pills, and we try to pick and choose, choose your battles wisely. There's all kinds of good stuff to take, but we really want to take the most impactful things for the least amount of pills, and keep it as simple as possible. But my wife and I have been practicing for well over 20 years now, and we have all these products and things in our office that just work well. They're high quality, time tested. We get to see the results. So we see the other side of this stuff too. So we're not just hoping that this is going to do something for you. It's really something we've had a lot of experience with. And so not just the macronutrient supplements, but there's also the botanicals, the liquid homeopathics. And I will tell you, this is a little secret of ours, and so I'm kind of exposing this right now, but our secret with effective detoxes and cleansing programs is these homeopathic tinctures. They do such a great job with a gentle and thorough cleansing from the nose to the toes. And it's easy. You put them in your water, you sip it throughout the day, and it helps you drink more water that way, and it's fantastic. I wouldn't do a detox without that particular component of that. Very important. Okay, so let's discuss the 2-week mini program, the 2-week version. And simply put, essentially it's just the first 2 weeks of the 6-visit program. So I'm sure we'll try to get some kind of graphic here, but if you picture 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, just the first 2 weeks. So you're starting the same, and your first 2 weeks are the same, you're just finishing early. So it's definitely easier to fit in your calendar and to mentally commit to all those kinds of things. And on the website, again, that page has a comparison chart of the 6 and the 2-week program, so you can look at some of the differences. The supplements are a little bit easier, just the time frame is easier, so you can research some of that yourself. Now the question comes down to, well, which one should I do? Should I commit to the 6 or the 2, or what should I do for me? And again, it comes back to testing. You don't really want to guess, you want to test. So take that toxicity questionnaire, get a sense for the score there. So if you're not scoring very high, you can get away with the 2-week version, a few times a year and once a year, whatever. And then the second thing is let's say you have a high toxicity score, you need to do the 6-week program, but you're like, man, I eat McDonald's every day, coffee and beer every day, and you're just challenging your system with junk food or whatever, and you can't get to the mental place of committing to a 6-week plan as clean as that diet is. So maybe doing the 2-week version is a better thing for you for now, and work your way towards a larger goal. So it's kind of like jumping into the 30-story window of a building, and you're like, man, I'm on the ground floor. So going to the 2nd story window might be the the best bet for you. So last question we had, why detox? What is a detox? What is a good detox? How do we detox? And there's so much more to share. We're just trying to make this video, understandable. And then the fourth one is, how often should I detox? Which is a really smart question. I'm glad you asked me. So one of the things I feel strongly about is at least once a year. We have Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, holidays, New Year's Eve. There's a stretch of time there where just temptations abound and it's easy to slide off your good eating thing. So I feel strongly that every January is a smart time to just go on a reset, a good program where you can clean things up. And I strongly believe that we should do the 6-week program every January, or some fashion of it, where you just clean yourself up every year. Again, we live in this toxic soup, it's hard to get away from. So second to that is, I think another smart time to do this would be at the change of seasons, meaning we have winter, summer, and winter again. So in between the summer and winter, these two major seasons, we have spring and fall. So in that transition, we have longer exposure to daylight and sun exposure, different food sources are coming in, different mold and dust counts, and just a lot of change happens. So that's a smart time to do some kind of detox. So my general recommendation is doing a 6-week longer term January detox, and every spring and fall doing a 2-week and a 2-week detox. And that way all year round you're working on something to try to keep yourself above, out of the ditch and above the fray. So different people may need more, some people don't need as much, but how would you also think in terms of having a lifestyle of detox? Because every early morning our liver is going through a major detoxification phase, but 24/7 we're in a detox mode at varying levels throughout the day. So the more we can do to encourage that in just a regular lifestyle, drinking plenty of water, getting enough sleep, and proper exercise and good diet, all these things just help. One of the downloads that we have on our website is, I think it's called Liver Cleanse Foods or something like that, where it gives you a list of good foods just to have in your regular daily habits. The green leafy stuff, cruciferous vegetables, and things like that. Just smart things to do. So hopefully I helped you figure some stuff out, cleared some of the confusion, lift the clouds, and what detox really is and why we do it. And so if you're looking for some more help than what's on the website, I encourage you to call the office, come in, become a patient, get assessed through our working. Otherwise, there's a lot of information on there. You don't have to be a patient to go through something like that. Share this video. Feel free to share this with people. Go to our YouTube page. We're amassing more and more videos all the time, trying to educate the masses. And by all means, take that toxicity questionnaire. Find out for yourself, where are you at? If we can help you, we'd love to. If not, have fun figuring that out. And until next time I see you, live your life well.
Wellness and Nutrition Center. Live your life well. Move, nurture, and thrive.